sure looked like it in Maui.
I think so, and he did mention that he was going to try to step up and not really look too much for the seniors to handle the load.
Feed the Rafe, and LaFrentz flushes it. 8-5 Jayhawks. San Diego. McGrath to Haas for 3. He buries it. Haas now 3 of 5 on the year from three-point land, and it's 7.
Slight press, but San Diego taking the first open shot.
Now a dump to Pollard, and he slams it home.
And this time Scott doesn't use the left or the right, he used both of them.
4 points for the seed to get up for a game like this.
Well, sometimes what you do is you play to the level of your competition, and great play.
Robertson backdoor the reverse jam for LaFrentz.
Great play, great pass. But like I was saying, sometimes you tend to play to the level of pass the ball, make San Diego defense move around, and then they have easier passes to get the ball down low.
2-3 zone now being shown by the Torero. Backdoor to Pierce, he lays it in. Nice feed from Ryan Robertson.
2 plays in a row where Kansas went backdoor with the alley-oop.
San Diego wants a timeout points.
San Diego with the inside out.
Pass is open. Decides not to shoot the 3. Lobs it instead of the the alley-oop.
And that's 3 alley-oops in a row for Kansas.
Sit out to McGrath, almost traveled. Now Haas on the drive to the hoop, and he lays it in. Underneath Moore, what a shot.
Very athletic play. Looked like he was trying to draw the contact. Contact wasn't really there.
Now a pass out front for Davis, almost lost it, and he does. It's finally picked up by Pierce. Free path to the basket, and he dunks it. It's a 13-point lead.
I think Paul Pierce ought to give half of that point to Billy Thomas for his...
They're going to come away with victory number 5. Radford, and that's it. Kansas 5-0 now in the season, and they got a challenge from Brad Holland's club out of the West Coast Conference, but Roy Williams' troops come out with a 79-72 victory. Kansas goes to 5-0. San Diego drops their record to 2-1. Again, the strong play from the front court of the Jayhawks.
And we are underway in Cincinnati. Touches it first. And a steal. Haas on a break. Scoring.
Jared Haas right in the passing lane, really playing well this year. Shot poorly last year, has worked a lot on shot selection, but the one thing that's a constant with Haas.
Kansas has shot very few threes this year. They had 20.
They're relying more on their inside game, really trying to get the ball inside like they did right there. Take the ball right down the gut of the defense. Roy said, I don't want too many threes. Now with guys I got inside with Pollard, LaFrentz, Pierce.
Count it, and a chance to make it a three-point play.
He loves California. Gets those kids from California.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're living out of that state right now, which is what they have on this roster.
Oh, what a great
and there's one of them right there from South Lake Tahoe, California. Nice reverse layup and a chance for a three-point play.
Jared Haas, just a tough competitor, plays so hard, always gives you an honest day's work.
Averaging almost 19 points a game.
They can't win unless Pierce gets himself involved offensively. He's got to start scoring.
Well, that's a way to score.
Yeah, they made their defense convert on the offensive end. They created something with their defensive basketball alignment.
Ruben Patterson's going to check in for Cincinnati. And
Theismann says, just give me the pigskin. Come on now, Coach Rhodes. Put it in my hands 40 times and we go home with the W.
We got 4 or 5 Golden Domers here at the game tonight.
Yeah,
Pierce with a
there's the guy. He's got to step it up. I mean, he's a star. He's a star. Paul Pierce, P squared, has got to be able to do his thing. There. Good balance. They're trying to post Haas with Flint.
8-point game and Haas with a steal.
Kansas got that bounce to him, Brad. They got that bounce.
Haas got it a little too deep, but he found LaFrentz.
I get a TO, baby, because I'm telling you right now, Kansas is back. The Jayhawks are back.
Bob Huggins says, let's talk about it, guys.
Yes, sir. Get that TO. The Jayhawks are back. Struggling shooting the basketball.
Kansas can cut it to a 2-point game. 1-point game, if that goes.
I tell you what, I don't know how much longer you wait, Brad. I know you're trying to save a guy, but I'm telling you, they're a different basketball football team. They're absolutely. We talked about earlier that a run will happen.
Cincinnati in the second half has one field.
I mean, Holofield's got him against the wall. I mean, he's got him right now. Rocky. Hello.
Nobody's that mixed up.
Hello. 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 Yes, sir. The Jayhawks want to show we're number one. With Vaughn, without Vaughn. Oh, we talked about it. You better beat Kansas now without Vaughn.
Shot outside, off the mark by Jolson. Kansas will run 3-on-2 lob.
Oh, great timing. Excellent timing. The Jayhawks out in transition. Up and up they go. Great play. Great catch by Pollard to finalize. It's nice when you got a 6'11" who can run from one.
On the way to the hoop. Bradford, though, keeps it alive.
Robertson almost went to Missouri. Recruited heavy by Missouri.
He'll try another one. Three-pointer.
Knocking it down. He can shoot the ball. Played some second guard. I'll tell you, this Jayhawk team has got some life, some bounce.
7-point advantage for Roy Williams, top-ranked club. They looked dead in the water.
Darnell certainly's got the ability to knock down the shot, but everything gets down to shot selection.
Now they're trying some trapping in the front corner.
Oh, I love him. I love Mr. Pierce. Loved him last year, love him more this year, and they're going to love him in Jayhawk land this year.
13 of his 15.
Back to zone now, out of the man-to-man, playing that zone.
Steal by Bradford. Huge steal.
Nice catch, nice conversion. Ryan Robertson, I tell you, kid doesn't get a lot of credit, a lot of recognition.
That's 4 for 30. Flint with a little scoop shot on the baseline. Doesn't matter.
Oh, finally goes down.
12 for Flint as the game comes to an end.
I'll tell you, Cincinnati gave them their best shot, but they're going back to rock chalk. Jayhawk land is number one, as they did a brilliant job showing a lot of character.
Well, number 4 had him on the ropes at halftime and led by 14 at one point, but Kansas prevails 72-65. For Dick Vitale and Dan Bonner and our ESPN crew, I'm Brad Nessler saying so long from the DirecTV Grade 8 here.
Danny Strong misses the three. Pollard with the rebound.
Oh, if you want to score, get it to Paul Pierce. He's got the only field goals for Kansas.
Thomas for three. And Billy Thomas hits from the outside. The first field goal from someone other than Pierce. And it's a 15-9 Jayhawks lead.
And it's a 20-second timeout by the Wolfpack to get this figured out. They got the gunslinger, Billy Thomas, in.
Pass to Pugh. Bradford looking in for LaFrentz. Lobs it to the big fella, and he jams it home.
Great pass by Nick Bradford over the top. Nice recognition by LaFrentz to see that his man was in front of him, and instead of trying to fight around him, he just sealed him off and waited for the lob over the top. 6 offensive rebounds now for NC State.
7 points now for Pinkins. Williams underneath to Pollard in a two-hand stuff.
Well, Pinkins and McCollum kind of took each other out of the play. It's about time Kansas finally found Scott Pollard inside. I don't know if it's really as much offensively Thomas the ball or Jared Haas on the perimeter if they can't take it all the way to the glass.
Robertson with 3, feeds it to Haas. The shot from just inside the arc is good. Haas patient, and he drills the two-pointer, and Kansas goes off the court with some momentum. Haas with 6 points in the first half. And a big one. Drives to the baseline, and Jayhawks cut him off. And the steal by LaFrentz. Ahead to Pierce. He'll take it in for the whammo. 14 for Pierce.
Kansas playing a little bit of volleyball there, getting the ball down to the floor, and immediately Herb Sendek doesn't like what he looks. He's going to call a 20-second timeout and see if he can.
And they come out with a big start to the second half.
Well, they get those Kansas runs, and they just can't be stopped.
Robertson to Pierce. There's more highlight material. Another two-handed stuff.
Well, they've got the
Corner. Benjamin misses. Rebound Robertson. And Ryan pushing all the way to the basket. He lays it in. Had a chance for the three-point play. And Kansas has 56 points, and that's the first time.
Pollard with only 3 points on the night, 1 for 4 from the field.
Here's Ryan Robertson driving baseline. Feeds to Pollard for the dunk.
Yeah, that's where the big guy likes to get him. Nice easy feed and take that up and finish. Pass from Hyatt.
He has 11 points now. Graff bounces it into Pugh.
And draws a triple team there.
Bradford dishes back to Pugh. The double clutch shot off the glass goes. Pugh with 8 points.
Double clutch, ball away, turn left, turn right, throw it up.
Kansas a convincing victory, Chris, and this will give them a lot of momentum into the holiday break and a great start for this KU team again. Gainey misses. Rebound, Bradford, and that'll do it. The number 1 Jayhawks will stay number 1. They hammered North Carolina State here at Allen Fieldhouse to the tune of 84-56. Herb Sendek and Roy Williams looks like they'll have good seasons ahead in the ACC and in the Big 12.
Well, you really kind of like, if you're Herb Sendek, you've got a team here that you've taken over that's used to running up and down the floor, shooting a long three. They really stuck with their game plan in the first.
Roy, ever mindful of the drama of the moment. Billy Thomas has been there for...
Bob Chipman doesn't like that. Washburn was in a triangle and 2 deep
for Washburn, 14-7. Nick Bradford with the ball to Robertson and around to T.J. Pugh.
Nice patience by Washburn on offense.
That tray by Ryan Robertson.
Well, they're just totally backing off of Ryan Robertson. Darren Kruger coming off the top. He turning away from the basket, touch shot.
21-12. Wyatt Robertson with his second 3 of the ball game. And the Jayhawks are certainly ringing the bell from outside. 5 out of 7 for them. They lead 24-12.
Tempo changed up. You see Washburn in the triangle and 2, 3 guys in the paint. Jared Haas being guarded and Paul Pierce being guarded.
There's Jacques' first long one, and he got it. His first tray of the season. And is he happy? And look, Ryan Robertson leading the applause. What a great young man he is. He knows his role. He acts
Wide open, Paul Pierce.
Yep, there we saw the real story. Oh, what a pass by Jacques. Oh, a basket by Rafe. And that's what it, look at Jacques. He's a happy camper after that one. I know we're going to look at that again because that's the play of the game so far. A 20-second timeout. And it misses connection. T.J. Pugh, good to see him back in the ball game. Oh, man.
Well, there he is. Doing what he does. Something will happen for you.
There's a nice bat away, and Bradford comes down court. He's going all the way. Showtime for Nick Bradford. The precocious Jayhawk freshman comes up with a nibbles around on the rim. And Canfield's cross-court pass deflected by Pollard, taken by Vaughn, over to Jarrett. Great transition game there by the Jayhawks, and Billy Thomas on the bench leading the applause.
Even when they're not on the floor, they've got their Jayhawk Holiday Clinic going on right now.
That's true. Jacques all the way. And nice play by Jordan Canfield. He didn't hit him on purpose. So many times they will. I don't like that. Canfield let him go on and make the...
Washburn just can't get the hang of that 1-3-1 half-court trap.
Pierce moving against one of the Pollard clan that time. Nice feed from Jacques. KU now running up some nice totals on assists. T.J. Pugh gets the stick back for Kansas, 90-62, and that's going to be it. Here's a maybe. Whoa! A great shot there at the very finish by Frank Boswell. And that makes it 90-65, and handshakes all around. Roy Williams and Bob Chipman congratulating one.
Aker, one of the leading shot blockers in the Big 12, getting a little of his own medicine there.
Pierce back to Vaughn. Well, it looks to me like the wrist is darn close to being 100%, doesn't it to you?
That's about as pretty a three-point shot as I've seen all year.
Wow. He was signed here as the most outstanding recruit since then. The look-away pass, and it's Pierce.
Ron, that was great communication that time. Tremendous communication. Pierce and Vaughn. Vaughn in midcourt turned and looked at Pierce. Pierce put the one finger in the air, said, let her go. And he did.
But Billy Thomas, well, he almost lost it and then got it again. Vaughn with the spin move inside, count to 2.
Well, that's got to be pleasant news. Anytime you can see your point guard who's missed 10 games playing as well as he has, he's got 5. Nice pass. Great pass. Pierce made a great move.
They had missed 7 shots in a row from the field prior to that dunk.
Pierce handling the wing to the base.
TJ Pugh in the lineup, number 22. Pierce for 3. Big bucket. That's huge. He was cold in the first half, and they need for him or somebody to step up.
He was 1 of 7 in the first half.
Now he
Inside.
Thomas for 3.
Look at the Prince. Oh, big. Great LaPrince.
Put an asterisk by that one at the 2:24 mark. In the second half in rebounds, KU as far as handling pressure.
And this is what senior leadership is all about.
Blitzed them both. Nothing but cord. So Kansas calls a timeout with 13.5 seconds left in our ball game, and their lead is back to 3. Pass goes to Rhodes. Puts it on the floor 3 times. Shot away. Won't count. So this one is over. KU, Larry, survives a 29% shooting night. They still remain undefeated for the season, and also at Bramlage. Come away with the basketball as Coleman tries to take it away from him.
Paul Pierce has been non-existent thus far early. He's got to get involved. They got to get Pierce involved.
Pierce with it.
He must have heard me, Ron. There's that zone defensively. Little matchup. Freeman up on the front, using the size on the top. Hello, up and away, Jam City. Their defense has really made it happen for Kansas.
Pollard with the screen out high. Thomas in the corner for 3. Pollard with the dunk.
Uncle Mo is certainly on the side of the Jayhawk. Uncle Mo is on our side. Oh, yes.
27-21, our score at halftime. Gary Miller. Vaughn wanted the 3, but Freeman got on him. Haas deep in the corner. Swishes it.
I tell you, he's playing so much better this year. A lot more confidence, square in his body.
To go down, I'll have no earthly idea. What an athletic move. And LaPrince at the other end.
They're going to get LaPrince involved. Tom Pender said, I taught Freeman how to shoot that shot. Maryland's 12-1 right now, playing really well. Gary Williams' club just blew out Virginia.
Vaughn.
Oh, nice play. Great ball.
T.J. Williams.
There's the lob over the top of the zone, sneak behind the zone. No visibility.
And he drills it.
I'll tell you, it's not pretty, but it goes down. I mean, it's not one of those soft looks. There's that diagonal again. They love throwing it up over the top. You better get back defensively. There's Vaughn signaling to go into some special defense. Down 7. If I'm sitting on that sideline, I'm Tom Penders. I got to get Freeman in the game. I cannot wait.
Billy Thomas for 3.
I cannot wait. Cannot wait, Tom. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. Ball. He's really come alive off the bench for them. At 17 against Providence in that loss. Can't trade baskets now. They got to come up with a defensive stop, Texas.
Because they played so well on the road. He's like, hey, how about a few games at home?
Anthony Good turns it over. Haas will go uncontested. Jared maybe a little tired, too tired to slam that one. He's 6:61. 5 seconds left. Perriman.
Probably not the guy you want handling it against the press.
And another block for Nick. Time expires. Kansas wins it. 86-61. Back here on Thursday night. The Hawks 2-0 in Big 12. Again, a thanks to ESPN. And LaPrince with the rebound.
LaPrince with the block shot, too, it almost seemed like. He caught that one right on the rim. Jack Armstrong was wanting the goaltending.
Pass back door to LaPrince, and boy, does that look easy. 10-3 Kansas. He had 7 blocks against K-State. Gets another one there. Vaughn for 3. 13-3 Jayhawks. Jack Armstrong has seen enough. 20-second timeout for the Purple Eagles. Let's take a look at the lob cross court to Bernowski. He'll pull up, throws up an air ball, rebound LaFrentz. Kansas running. Vaughn with the spin, behind the back to Pollard for the dunk. How do you describe rebound Thomas? Kansas running. To Pollard. And an easy two-hand stuff.
Boy, Scott Pollard was back there camping the whole time. I'll tell you what, this Niagara team, they've got some talent.
To work underneath the steal. LaFrentz out to Pierce. To Haas. All the way to the hoop. Count the basket. And a chance for the three-point play. Kansas running at will, and that's when they're at their best.
Cut. Nice pass by Dobrich to Abdullah. Came out, was overplayed, went back to the basket.
Vaughn out at the arc to Pierce. Feeds Thomas, he's open for three, and he's deadly when he's left open. That's 2 threes for Billy Thomas. Robertson to the corner. Pass. To LaFrentz and the lay-in.
Who's guarding Rafe LaFrentz? Is there anybody on the floor assigned to him?
20 points for LaFrentz, 18 for Pollard. Kansas with another.
A lot of times he'll catch himself in a streak where
and there's a steal.
The ball well offensively.
Haas steal ahead to Bradford, and he throws it down.
And there he is, Jared Haas, showing you what he gives you on the floor besides the offense. You just wish that when he would start to get in those streaks, he...
Another steal. This time Bradford to Haas. And the slam. You do it, I'll do it better. And that time, Bradford and Haas teaming up on a couple buckets. And they've energized this.
And draws a little blood.
TJ Pugh with the steal. Took it away from Dobrich. To Vaughn. Back to Pugh for the dunk. All Kansas here in the first half. That'll do it. Suffocating defense and the most productive first half of the season for the Jayhawks. They're running away from Niagara. It's easy to do anything with that thing on.
It's hard to breathe with the darn thing on, let alone shoot a three-pointer.
Vaughn back door to LaFrentz. And again, the lob pass and no contest from the Purple Eagles.
Actually, a bad
defensive play. Pollard's their leader. B.J. Williams second. LaFrentz third on the team of block shots, and he forces a steal. To Vaughn, back to LaFrentz for the slam. 80 points for Kansas. They're up 80-45. To play. All Kansas. Here's Vaughn. And a beauty. Jackson double figures. He has 10 points. Sights back on the Big 12 conference play. Beamer has it stripped by Nooner. And it's picked up by Bradford. Ahead to McGrath. He lays it in. And that's going to do it. Jayhawks in a rout. 134-73. Third best output in KU history. We'll take a break. All Kansas. They're 15-0 on the season.
Basket by Richard Hamilton. 6'6" freshman. But Pierce answers with a 2 at the other end and a chance for another point.
That's Hamilton's 23rd three-pointer on the year, shooting right under 40%. When you're not used to starting, you get a little winded, Jim. They're all winded.
Haas answers. Hardnett may be winded, but this crowd is just breathless. As the UConn Huskies lead 18-7. 3-7. Not to be believed. Vaughn, three-point shot.
And really not the big part of Jock Vaughn's game, but he steps out there and drills that one. Pollard, so experienced. Bosco's got to make sure he's not in foul trouble. Beautiful day.
No, there's a point right there where Bosco didn't even challenge him. Wasn't his responsibility, but he has fouled out of the last 2 games. Pierce on a wing, open 3. Make it 12 unanswered. And that 16-point lead suddenly is down to a mere 4-point advantage.
Pollard could have been a foul on that play, no call. They're really running.
Pierce to the wing, to Vaughn.
Jim Calhoun may have to call a time just to get his guys
back South Carolina. And, of course, another big upset yesterday. Oh, beautiful pass.
No look pass.
No look.
Yep, Vaughn to LaFrance. We'll look forward to being down in Arkansas for Kentucky and the Razorbacks. Can the Razorbacks regroup? That was a three-point shot by Hamilton that would have given them the lead. Instead, at the other end, there's Billy Thomas.
I was waiting for that. And his release is good and confident. He's the one guy, if you're Jim Cal.
Need a big stop here. There's Thomas again firing. Thomas with 2 huge threes.
If they win the national championship, Jim, he will do that in the NCAA tournament. He could be the guy to put them over the edge.
63-57. There was an athlete's board, though, that met there, and that's one thing they really wanted. Oscar put it up now. Hamilton last shot of the game. A feisty effort.
Terrific basketball game.
Roy Williams and his team roll on 18-0, heading to a #1 seed and maybe a national championship. Great job by Jim Calhoun. Billy Packer and Jim Nance saying so long from here. Let's go back to New York.
The second foul. Excuse me, that was Benson Hamilton that got over. It would have been his first foul. Vaughn, great pitch to Jared Hass for the reverse.
That's what Vaughn does well. Hass uses the rim.
To the left-hand shot, but it won't fall, and the French clears it to Jacques Vaughn, and here come the Jayhawks. To the deep corner of Thomas, you can really shoot it, and that's a three.
Yeah, that stroke is as smooth as it comes, Fred. Just spotted himself in the corner. Vaughn saw him all the way down.
46% three-point shooter. LaFrance today.
Okay, Nebraska stays in the zone. They have to. Oh, great back pick. Oh. Great back kick. Back pick. No communication by the Huskies.
The feed from Robertson to Bucket LaFrance, his first 2 points of the day. And the Jayhawks back up by 1. We're midway past, and the Hawks dig it out. Vaughn has Gardner right behind him, and he knows it. Gardner goes over into between the legs of it. To an open Pierce. LaFrance is the board. Foul counted.
Well, LaFrance looks tired, but that time he took the ball, went straight up, never brought the ball down. His long arms, long body. This is what you teach young players.
To Moore. Thomas, Moore in the middle of that zone defense. Picks up Paul Pierce, who gives it up. They find Thomas wide open for 3 and knocks it down. Oh, he can shoot it.
Yeah, that is just so smooth. I mean, that's fun to watch. I like to watch shooters, Fred, and that young man has been terrific on the defensive end.
Boy, both clubs really working hard defensively. Vincent Hamilton now back in.
There it is again.
Oh, the lob to Williams.
Ryan Robertson, terrific pass. The back pick, the lob against the zone defense. We saw it in the first half.
The Hawks by 6. The crowd is in it.
This is a player of running his team. I think they feel good at the position they're in Allen Fieldhouse right now. Oh, good steal. Oh, my.
How about the pass after the steal?
What a play by a 6'11 player. Out on the wing, knocks it away. So much for confidence at times.
All right. By Florence. Oh,
this is getting fun.
Yes.
Look at it. Here we go again.
Pass with a spinning bucket.
All right, turn them loose, guys.
Giddy up basketball. Listen to the crowd in Allen. Garner comes out to get it.
When they swing the ball, look for LaFrance to go down under, and they'll try to push him up on the other side.
Good pass. Paul Pierce off the feed from Hass.
The drive, the dish, and the finish.
Kansas.
Paul Pierce, which will be really difficult for him to stay with Pierce outside.
Vaughn against Lou. There's the cut. LaFrance fouled, and it's going to drop.
Are you kidding me?
Woo. Wow. How do you get that shot down? He has 8 points in the overtime, and he's going to the line.
And Kansas fans are thankful that they got out of this with a victory.
I'll tell you what, they have to be. Some effort by Nebraska, a great effort by Kansas. The Jayhawks go to 22-0, 8-0 in the Big 12. Some game, John.
Well, they take everyone's punches. They hang on. They do what it takes to win. And a victory's a victory. They'll head to Columbia Tuesday night.
And fun is fun, and we've had a lot of it today. Thanks for watching for our entire crew. And John Sunvol, Red White saying thanks for watching. Let's get you to Studio 66.
With David Dodge and David Hall. The opening tip is controlled to Kansas. Pierce, the alley-oop to LaFrance. And right away, it's Viva LaFrance.
Iowa State, one of their goals is to prevent transition.
It's a tired-looking shot.
It's a shot that you got to convert.
Pass. Leaves it for LaFrance.
Tim, it never fails if you do not convert an easy opportunity such as Cato just had. Kansas is the kind of a team that makes you pay for it by running down and getting an easy basket. Iowa State, Cato matched up against LaFrance, but you notice Cato doesn't follow him outside.
Vaughn, a three-pointer right over J.C. Holloway.
With Cato playing down in the middle, Tim, there's nobody to help on the screen set by LaFrance. LaFrance sets.
And Pierce fight for it. Paul Pierce takes it away. Vaughn. A trade for Jacques Vaughn. He has a baker's dozen. 13 on the afternoon. 34-33. Iowa State by 1. Needless to say, not many people knew about Kelvin. Pierce. Count it. And a foul. Bank 6 3-pointers and 24 points. Vaughn, good look to Pierce.
And Pierce really aggressively looking for the basketball in this half, and he has done a great job attacking the basket.
15. Iowa State a paltry 2 of 11 from the floor here in the second half. Off the pick from Pugh. Vaughn. Largest lead of the day for Kansas, 49-42. And the Kansas Jayhawks have come in to Hilton Coliseum and won for the 23rd time. Only one conference loss as Iowa State drops to 16-4, 7-3 in the Big 12. So for Dan Bonner, Tim Brando saying so long from Hilton Coliseum, where our final score, Kansas 69, Iowa State 62. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, he might, though.
Yeah.
Bryant Reeves shot 62% in 93 for Oklahoma State.
You know, a lot of guys who set records are centers who shoot a lot of jump hooks, a lot of things like that. Hey, how about LaFrance?
He brought down the chandelier. 6 for Rafe off the Jacques Vaughn drive, and the Jayhawks double up on the Cowboys, 8-4.
Back to the thing about field goal shooting. And other guys who shoot high percentage are kind of garbage players.
Right.
They get loose rebounds. Keontae Roberts has to become more aggressive and take more shots for this team.
B.J. Williams got the deflection. Jacques Vaughn got the assist, and Jared Haas got the 3.
You know, you always think about that wrist because he is shooting exceptionally well this year. He hurt his wrist back in December, shooting almost.
On the miss down low, it was Maurice Robinson. Here's Haas in transition. I like Haas. He never forces anything. LaFrance for Jacques Vaughn.
Jacques Vaughn has shot the ball well. We said on the opening, the last 2 ball games, a little bit of a smile there. Maurice Robinson, no way was he going to challenge him outside.
That was the 103 of Jacques Vaughn's career. And KU leads by 10. And the roof is coming. Done a good job of keeping him quiet so far.
Eddie Sutton's ball club's always very good man-to-man defensively. Very seldom will run a zone, but aggressive in man-to-man.
Pierce.
Good pass.
A fastball down to B.J. Williams. He was ready this time.
Yeah, what a good look.
Kansas now shooting 8 of 12. Would not go for Keontae Roberts. Jacques Vaughn feeling his way in transition. Paul Pierce is involved now. They caught him on the break. Pierce a 40% three-point shooter. And John, what a ball game he had at Iowa State on Saturday. Now look at this. Down in Norman with the jumper. Rebound LaFrance. Vaughn. It's Pierce angling in.
Talk about finish.
I think Oklahoma State's just used their third 22nd timeout of the night. Go for Adrian Peterson. He, by the way, is scoreless. Vaughn for Pierce.
Good pass.
In the corner, it's Haas, and he has 13.
How good does it feel to be back home? This team is playing exceptionally well.
6 minutes to go. 35-18 Kansas. Jock is dribbling away from the double team. Alley-oop. It's Rafe LaFrance. He has 8.
Yeah, Roberts tried to hedge, and Vaughn kept playing him and dragging him along, and Rafe just turned around and spun to the rim.
Is 8. And Maurice Robinson, 11 points and 9 rebounds for the Cowboys.
Well, here's a good start for the Jayhawks.
It's BJ.
Not what you want out of the locker room if you're the Cowboys.
Robish goes down, so LaFrance matches the Cowboys, and he's into double figures with a foul.
The big smile, Vaughn was looking the other way. Robish fell down, and Rafe was calling for the ball. Finally, Vaughn saw him for his 8th assist on the night.
First Finder short with the 3.
Nobody back.
Nope. Here's Haas. You can still jam with a bad wrist.
Well, you had one guard, Peterson, penetrating. The other guard's in the corner. When the shot is missed, weak side has to go back. I don't care if you're a forward center.
You know, that indicates you did well against the Jayhawks. If they were happy to see you, John, then you'd be worried.
Oh, had some great battle.
Here's Thomas. Oh, my. Billy with another 3. He has 8 tonight. It's 69-37.
And you know Billy sat on the sideline. He's watching all the guys make shots. And
strong drive, Jock Vaughn. It takes a special ability to drive that fast and finish that soft.
Yeah, and as high as that ball went up, that's the only way it's going to go in. The soft touch off the glass. Open guys that have worked under him that are doing terrific.
And both of these coaches share that legacy. Oh, Paul Pierce! Has he come down yet?
It's fun time.
Basket for OSU. He has a half dozen. Hugh draws the double down. How quick is Billy Thomas on that baseline?
Yeah, and the release is something. Good rotation on the ball. Loves to go to his left. And we took it to the baseline with 14.
Things are a little bit out of hand right now. There's Nooner.
It is a hula hoop. I'm telling you what, these baskets are huge tonight. Want to lose to Missouri, didn't want to lose a string, but this team played great against Iowa State, and they're loose. Tonight they were loose and aggressive and did the things. They look like they're much more comfortable than when they were 20 and 19 or 21-0 because they were struggling then.
104-72. Two of the classiest coaches in college basketball. Roy Williams' team was great tonight.
Pass for 3. A little too much energy on that one. Stolen though by B.J. Williams. LaFrance! Oh, son! Was that sweet? I mean, where did he take off? Beautiful backdoor screen. Jared Haas absolutely set a perfect backdoor screen to open up that alley-oop. Well, Rafe LaFrance, he gets, it was either a tip or a foul. The give and go from Pollard and Pierce. And that makes a point. Well, what sets that up so well is Scott Pollard's willingness to kick it back out. So often the guards, this does not even look like the same Kansas State team we've seen earlier this year. Count the basket and a foul. There's Haas on the floor again. Well, let's watch a couple of fast breaks, one each way. Well, this is after a made back. Kansas State staying in that 2-3 zone.
Great feed from the freshman to the junior. Nick Bradford with a beautiful pass to Rafe.
Back to a three-point lead. No, they called it a 3 now. Schwarzenegger did have his feet behind the line, so Kansas State leading by 4. They were leading by 4.
Yeah. Well, I think that was pretty good strategy. Paco May gave him a little bit of space just because Jared hadn't hit it.
Vaughn. Oh, beautiful. How did he find him when he was in so much trouble in the air?
Well, Paul Pierce did a great job of bailing him out. I mean, Vaughn jumped up and he was in trouble. That was great defense. Paul Pierce, instead of just standing there, went ahead and cut to the basket.
Got me convinced.
Well, I mean, that's your natural tendency. You're out there on the floor and the shot goes up. Everyone turns their head and goes towards the ball.
LaFrance adjusts his shot again. How can he not be player of the year in this conference? Wow.
You're just not going to stop.
Kansas with a basketball. It's the 4th team foul on K-State this half. They work it to LaFrance again. Oh, boy. He's got 16 points all of a sudden.
Just a terrific pass.
LaFrance over a rebound over Rhodes. Pierce will try a 3. Yes. They hit one. Pierce now with 10. And the lead is 10. Stolen by Vaughn. Here he comes with pass again. The seniors are coming to play now. Wow, 19 points to lead. That was sweet.
Scott Pollard came over and actually got his hand on the ball. Look, the half-court line got somebody again.
Aker tripped up over there. Pollard does take the 3, and he hits it. He hits it. He hits it. Wow.
You got to be kidding me. Roy Williams is tracking up over there on the bench.
Jared Haas, who played 3 years in a Kansas uniform. Now, B.J. Williams. And now, Jacques Vaughn. Vaughn, arguably the best point guard in Kansas history. JoJo White played here. Darnell Valentine, the Big 12 today with the win. Bradford slams it home. This has turned into quite a party. Much of this one. C.B. McGrath, a long 3, it's no good, but Kansas wins by 20. Vaughn and Haas and Pollard, Williams, Branstrom, Ransom all playing here for the final time. Roy Williams said he'd shed a tear when these guys left. Well, Kansas with no tears at all today as they win it by 20. Studio 66.
The miss that time. Purdue struggling here from the field. Pierce back the other way for Haas. Oh, nice touch pass. That's why they're number 1. Pollard to LaFrance. 8-5 Jayhawks. National champs in the NCAA tournament, leading 15-9 over the 8 seeds in the Southeast, the Boilermakers of Purdue. And there's LaFrance from Haas. Tim, I'm telling you, the pressure from the Boilermakers is not working, so board up. Looks like arm wrestling down there. LaFrance driving. Rafe LaFrance, 10 points. 6'11", he just made the move of a 6'1" point guard. The junior from Monona, Iowa. It's now in there at 10. That's the Katie style. This is effective here. They're under 10. Vaughn almost stumbled, gets it up and in. Jock Vaughn, academic All-American.
Dickerson, a real shooter, has his pass stolen by Haas. Haas with Bibby moving in. Haas with the lay-in for the first 2 of the game.
Excellent anticipation by Jared. He sure didn't show any sign that wrist was bothering him there. Solid D.
LaFrentz, quiet so far.
Nice double down.
Pierce, he's hit 2 from the same spot on the wing.
That was created by the double down defensive play to try to stop LaFrentz.
Ahead to Haas. To Pugh for the assist. So Haas set up Pugh beautifully with that time.
And the depth of this Kansas team is kind of amazing. I mean, all of these fellas have played in.
Partially blocked by Pierce.
I think he hit him on the arm.
Vaughn. Thomas for the lead. Kansas has taken a 1-point lead.
The only thing this team has ever lacked, Jim, to advance is outside shooting, and Thomas is probably as good a pure shooter as they've.
Bramlett too strong. Pollard. Solid rebounder. Kansas a 9-2 run. Vaughn, no-look pass to Thomas for 2.
Jock Vaughn anticipated that play when he.
Pugh goes baseline, kicks it out. Robertson, he's hit 2 off the bench.
And on both occasions, Arizona did not go out in the.
Pierce +1. The call on Dickerson.
And we see in the second half the plan by Roy Williams. He was having a lot of hard time. 87.
13-point lead with 3:15 remaining. And Pierce tries to make a statement and wake up the Jayhawks here with